Let's make a run together, I'll be by your side before we collide. And if the sky falls down on you, just beat it up before we collide. Let's make it last forever, I'm ready to fly before we collide. And when the sun don't shine on you, just heat it up before we collide. Let's make a run together, I'll be by your side before we collide. And if the sky falls down on you, just beat it up before we collide. Let's make it last forever, I'm ready to fly before we collide. And when the sun don't shine on you, just heat it up before we collide.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TechCondo. My name is Petra, and well, there was something going wrong. I hope that you didn't really see that, but indeed, there was a small hiccup in my production, and that meant that the stream was dying again, and now I know why. It happened last week again, but now I know exactly why that happens, and it has something to do with, believe it or not, exactly the content of today, because I want to bring you along with the journey to show you around in the current production of TechCondo as it is right now, with the idea that the coming months it will change quite dramatically, and I will be talking about what that is at the end of the show. So if you're really interested in that, make sure to stick around to the final few minutes of the show. But what you learn today is I will walk you through exactly how it is all produced, how everything went mostly live, and we will be talking about how everything is connected here in the studio. Welcome if you're new to this channel. My name is Petra Verbruggen. I stream every single week. Sometimes I also create these cool videos that are a bit shorter, but typically every time I want to start with those smaller form factor videos, it tends to be something that I can do for just a few weeks, and then I'm just it's not really my thing. I'd rather stick around and have a good time with you guys, even though arguably it's not as good for your statistics if it comes to YouTube. However, I do really appreciate a smaller community of people that are actually invested in the time. So about invested, I would state that these people are definitely invested. So MT, welcome again to this episode of TechCondo. Really appreciate you for being here. The same thing goes to DG who's also here. My dad, who is here, which is fantastic. By the way, one short tip about my dad is that my dad, he's awesome because he was watching last week's show, and of course Scooter was walking up this curtain right here, and he was like, yeah, you need to do something about it. Can't you just close the door? And that is simply not possible due to the fact that I have removed that door to make more room for my studio. So he was so kind to say, okay, let's just wait for it. Let's see what happens the coming few weeks, because until now, it's not that every single week it's a big problem. It's just give or take. So let's see how things are going, and if that will remain a problem, then my dad was kind enough to come to my place so that he can watch the cats, believe it or not. So he's awesome for that. Also awesome that Garrett is here as well. Let's enjoy another episode from Petra and the climbing cat. Well, let's not hope that. Welcome to Vil, of course, also from Finland. Very excited that you are here as well. And that's the same thing goes to my friend from Belgium. It's very cold in Belgium. I saw some videos and pictures because tomorrow is the Tour of Flanders. It's a bicycle round with a lot of let's say dodgy roads, and so it's quite a big hit here in the Netherlands, but also in Flanders, and it looked very cold. We had even some snow yesterday, as we did as well, Rudy. hey, what's up? All right. Oh, you're talking to my dad. Cool. Excellent. Let me go back to this one. A lot of people are also. David Foster was very quickly in the house, and I really would like to thank you to David for supporting the show. He actually also did a super chat. Thank you so much, even though you could not be here for this. Thanks, but anyway, really. Let me see. Cool, a new intro video. Well, not really. Not yet. It's coming. Maybe. I think so. DJ Ware says, nice thing about cats is that they will always ignore directions. Yes. Happy Saturday, friends, says Jason, all the way from Canada. I think that was all the topics of today. So yeah, let's talk about Vmix. So for you guys that know me from the ATEM world of things, you might think, Petra, Vmix, what is going on? Well, true, I love ATEMs. I really do appreciate them, especially for gigs on location where multiple cameras are needed with bigger crews, and it just needs to work. I am not going to take my Vmix computer as my streaming system. That's something that I will not do. I will use it still for graphics overlays and that kind of stuff, but I will not use it for the streaming part of things. However, being a one-person band at TechCondo, it makes more sense to have a piece of software to do this. However, also here there will be some changes coming, and a few things are coming. Definitely, I will change the look and feel of the show a little bit. It's not going to be world shocking, so it's a little bit of a bit of different color, because the color that you see behind me will be the new color. And I need to. Okay, the text is not changed, but this is not related to the show, but this was the old color right there. So there is a big difference if it comes to the coloring of the show, and I want to just move it on through the whole show, and everything needs to be the same. Also, of course, with Scooter now a part of the family, I need to incorporate him in a intro video or in some graphics as well. So that also needs to be done. And I also want to really give a new look and feel to it, even though the studio will most likely be roughly the same, because I don't have a lot of space to really change a lot, because believe it or not, this is the end. This is really a wall right there, and there's not so much space at that side as well. So yeah, I need to live with what I have, right? So that's the way it goes. Anyway, to make a long story short, the graphics will change, the automation will change. I will be moving away from the automation that Vmix provides by itself. We'll go full on into a Companion, so everything will be running on Companion in the future as well, and I want you to be part of it. However, and also very important is that once the new ATEM 19-inch rack thingy comes into play, and I'm still hoping that there will be a ATEM Mini Extreme engine, but then a 19-inch rack with SDI, I will remove the ATEM Mini Extreme from my rack that I showed you a couple of weeks ago, and put it here in the studio. And that means that I will also here in my studio here will move away from having Vmix being the main topic of the day. I will still use it for graphics. I will still use it for Vmix calls, for example, but I will not use it for the main dish. That being said, I did find it a cool situation to just walk you through what I do, where I do it, why I do it, so that maybe you get some inspiration. And yeah, let's just go through it. But before I do that, I do see some comments that I want to discuss. MT says, your dad must be awesome because he's your dad. He is definitely awesome, and he is definitely awesome. In terms of cold, we also get some surprisingly snow. First, I thought it was an April Fool's Day. Yeah, it definitely. All right, that sounds about it. So let's delve into it. Let's delve into the setup. So what I'll do now is that I will be showing you my Vmix screen. I will be using the magnifier that is built into Windows to zoom in into the setup that I want to talk to you about. I've not done that before, so please go ahead and tell me what you think about it, because I think that it's better for you guys to focus on where I am in the area and what I'm talking about. So let me know. Otherwise, I need to figure out another way of doing it. But I think that this is going to be awesome and great enough. All right, so without further ado, let's make sure that you can see the display. Boom. And then, oh, I will just say cut. And there you go. So this is Vmix. Vmix is my go-to application if it comes to my studio, and it can be a little bit daunting, especially if you see this screen for the first time. You're probably like, what is going on the screen? There's so much to do. Well, basically what you see on the left hand side, you see me at the moment, and that is a yellow bar on top of it right there. That yellow bar means that this is the preview setup. So you're actually not seeing the end result, you're seeing the preview setup. On the right hand side, you see a green bar. That green bar is actually showing you what I'm streaming. So basically you're seeing my screen, and in between you see all kinds of different possibilities that you have to move from the left to the right hand side. So if I want to say cut, you will see me full screen right now, and if I say fade again, you will see me fade in or cross dissolve into the screen again. And you've got merge, you've got cross zoom, and you got a plethora of different topic possibilities there. If I were to use, for example, the vertical wipe reverse, and then click on that, you'll see it doing something really awkward like so. And there's also the possibility for a stinger, which we talked about last week. So if you'd like that, go ahead and go and check that out, what the stinger does. The stinger that I have at the moment is not set to the correct timer. So if I click on it, it will not click at the right setup, because I always forget to change that, but we'll do that later today. Anyway, there's also the fade to black button, which I will do very shortly, because it just simply fades to black, and it all also automatically will remove the audio and will come back, which is really great. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, those are overlays. The way that they work exactly the same as with Photoshop. It's a layered structure. So 0, which is non-existent, in that is actually the end, the back of everything. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are all, let's say, upstream keyers or downstream keyers on top of each other, but you have 4 of them to choose from. So if I want to, for example, show what digital creation is saying at the moment, I can actually just push it to number 4. It says, hello, greetings. When you lean forward, you are way out of focus. Okay, cool. I will try not to do that much anymore then. Maybe there's something else going wrong. It seems that the focus is not. Whoa, okay. Interesting. So the focus is not working that perfectly today. Why is that? Focus cancel. I don't want to focus cancel. I want to. Okay, that's interesting. Oh. I want to give you some focus. Where is that? That is it. Let me see. This is something that I cannot show you, but let me see. Focus mode, continuous. All right. That should be better. It should be better. It should be focusing on me. There you go. Well, that's a thing. We need to... it's not following my eyes. That's a problem. And it's not spot focus. I don't want to have spot focus. I want to... Not manual focus, single focus. There you go. And then I want it to focus on my focus area. That should be better. There you go. All right, so we're back. Thanks for saying that, digital creation. Okay, let's verify this. So that was a bit of a thing. So indeed, that's also something that we occasionally need to verify. How do you pronounce your name? Movetta Producciones. Just a question off topic. Do you know if the LU200 unit can work like a data bridge unit for a bonding internet connection? That is indeed a little bit off topic. I do need to verify that for you. I doubt that that is possible. I know that the LU300 definitely does have that functionality, but the LU200 might not have that functionality. Need to verify that. Okay. MT says, hi Digital, you were right. You learn the most by simply doing and maybe fail and learn from it. Yeah, definitely. That is the case. DJ Ware says Vmix looks a lot different than the virtual I used years ago. Yeah, but it's always changing, of course, in time. So that is definitely an issue there. Perfect. There you go. There you go. And also thanks for saying that, because I didn't see that. Elon, hey everybody. Welcome. And indeed, shalom. All right, let's go back. And there was a little bit of quick intermezzo, but hey, that's life, and that's what I like about it. So, yes, it's always a paying service. That's definitely the case. It's not out of the box. You do need to purchase that separately. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. So there you go. So I was talking about this in the center and the overlays, and then of course this is like a T-bar that you can use. It's a digital T-bar, which is not that interesting. And here you've got the production clock, and I love the production clock because it basically does give me just the time, but it can also just count down videos and that kind of stuff, which is really cool. On the right hand side you see everything that's related to audio. So you see that my studio mic is switched on, and if I for example just change it, blah blah blah, you can see that there's a difference in the volume right there. I do have an additional bus available to me besides the master bus, and that's because sometimes I need this computer to be connected to that computer to have multiple instances of the same live stream available, but with a different content. And that is the reason why I need to have a little bit of a different audio setup right there. We're not going to go in that because it's not related to TechCondo, but I happen to have it switched on. And then on the left hand side you see all of the inputs, as they call it, within Vmix, and I have a plethora of inputs. So if I just click on the bar here, you can see that all of the inputs that I have are going like in the 30s, 31, 32, and so these are all of the inputs that I have available to me, and that is all of them. But I can also have a subgroup of it. For example, my studio base is just 2 of them, which is just the in this case the main PC and a Surface, which is a bit awkward. I think that, like I said, in time your setup will change quite dramatically. That's the reason why I'm also saying that I need to change a lot, but in time you will learn quite a lot of it. So basically what I meant by studio base when I made it is that regardless of the project that I'm using, I always start with Studio Base, which is always this camera right here, which is the main camera, and the audio setup right here, which I have beside me, which is the Go XLR, which we will be touching upon very soon. Then we've got TechCondo, which is specifically to TechCondo and on location. But these days, I typically just create multiple projects, which is just an XML file, and I just start whatever I need. So it's a little bit of a different use case these days. But let's go back to everything. So this is everything. That's awesome. All right. So the way that we start the show, obviously, is, of course, the countdown timer. And if you look here, you'll see a lot of different names. And unfortunately, I do have bad eyesight, so I need to very quickly check which one it is. There you go. So this is the timer that we always start with. This one right here, and this one right here actually is also being used to start the show. And what I actually do is that in order to start the show, we actually created a lot of additional triggers. So let's go back to my own face right now. So triggers is really important because that is a way to automate the hell of it. And you can use triggers with Vmix. So if you put the countdown timer from the yellow bar, which you see right here, to the green bar right there, then it will automatically start the countdown because I've programmed it to do that. It will automatically start the music. It will automatically start the stream, but also stop it. And that's exactly why the stream was hampered just a few minutes ago, because I forgot about that. But let's show how that looks like. And in order to do that, and I hope that the magnification will work now, I will click on this cogwheel right here, and I will now use the magnifier for the first time. So here goes nothing. Whoop. So here you've got the magnifier right here. And let me make it a little bit bigger. So here you've got the cogwheel. Let me know if this is working, guys. And if I click on the cogwheel, it will automatically pop up this screen right here. And then I need to go into the triggers setup. And these are all the triggers that I've created for the start of the stream. Let me go through them one by one. On transition in, so if I go from the left-hand side preview to the right-hand side, then I want to start the countdown. And I want to start the countdown with this zip file, the GT zip file, which is basically just a timer, which allows me to count down from 10 to 0 minutes. The duration is 500 milliseconds, not seconds, 500 milliseconds, which is the default. I'm not changing that. And there's no delay, which means that it starts immediately once the transition is started in. So if I go from left to the right side, it will automatically do that. So I have started the countdown. I will automatically also stop the stream. So I will start the stream here because I have not stopped it yet, so there's no stream yet. So default, it will automatically start the stream. And it will just use the preview, which is not used at all. It's just starting the stream because the countdown is on the right-hand side, is in program. Then I'm going to switch my audio off. My studio mic, which is the input 3, that is switched off fully. You cannot hear me anymore because of this. So I'm quiet, which is great. Then I'm going to switch on the audio of a list of music, which is just the song that is selected at the moment, but that list changes in time. And I'm setting the volume of this list to 70. So that's not 100. 100 is everything is full fully volume, but it's just 70, which seems to be the perfect fit for you guys, and it is delayed by 3000 milliseconds, so 3 seconds. Then in the transition in, I'm gonna add the overlay for, and they're set to none. So this one actually is not used anymore. So I can just remove those two or 4. And so this is everything that is going on right there. So, all right, now I need to figure out how I can go back to that. All right, was that helpful, guys? Oh, a lot of questions coming in. Let me go to me full screen. Sport just says, so welcome from Arizona, Alberto from Sports YA. Welcome. Really appreciate you for being here. How much is Vmix? Okay, yeah, so that's a very good question. So Vmix comes with a plethora of different options. So let's go ahead and show the website so that I can walk you through what the changes, what the differences are. There is a very comprehensive list, but I can imagine that if you have never used Vmix prior, that you will not understand it. So that's totally fine. Let me flip to that screen. Boom. Okay, this is the Vmix website right here. And if you go to purchase and you go to the comparison table right here, so home, purchase, comparison table, you'll see all of the different versions that they allow for. There are 2 main ways of having Vmix run. Either via subscription, let me get the magnifier out of the way. Either as a subscription right here, which is called Vmix Max, and this is just 50 USD per month, US dollars, and it will give you everything you can get. So you can do whatever you like. It's a full-on version of Vmix. Actually, it's exactly the same as the Pro version that you see right beside it. So that Pro version will set you back 1200 USD. 1200 USD. But then it's a perpetual license with one caveat, and that's with all of the other ones that is Pro, 4K, HD, and Basic HD. All of those perpetual licenses will grant you access also to upgrades for a year. And if you want to add another year of support and also upgrades, then you need to pay, regardless of the version, $60 US. So it doesn't matter if you purchased a $1,200 Pro license or the $60 US HD version, basic HD version. It will always be $60 regardless of what you have. So that is quite an interesting concept, in my opinion. So yes, so the Pro license and the Max license are 100% the same, with the exception that the Max license will grant you the functionality only for the time that you are subscribed. Now, what is the differences between Basic HD, HD, 4K, and Pro? Well, let's navigate a little bit through it. The total inputs is for the Basic HD only 4, which is actually, if you use the Hdmi and you only want to have some overlays, it's quite great from that perspective. So let me see if I'm not making a mistake at the moment. I don't think so. I think that's possible. So yes, that would be great. That would be working for you for $60 US. You have that will be very limited because I have 32 inputs that, as you have seen just now, but you will be able to work with it. Then let's go back. So that is 4 inputs and only three cameras, which is again great, because if you just used your A10 mini as that's one camera, and then you still have 3 additional functionalities for you. If you go to the HD model, which is $350 US, then it jumps to thousands, which is just insane. You're never gonna get a thousand. That's just crazy. So I will never get there. So regardless of where you are, it's always 1,000, and for cameras it's the same. The maximum resolution is for the 4K and Pro version is 4K, and the max, of course. And for the basic HD and HD, it's, well, HD. Remember that I told you that I had 4 overlay channels. That is not available in basic HD, so there's only 1. So I just said that it would be great for you, but I don't think that that's enough. So I made a mistake. Go for the HD model. So the $350 model is excellent. So I really would recommend to start with the $350 version and then upgrade if you see fit. Recording is possible in the software, which is really good. And if you have the 4K model, the Pro, you actually have 2 recorders, and that becomes very handy if you want to have a recorder of only the raw video files without overlays, and you want one with overlays. You can do that in the 4K model and the Pro model, but you cannot do that in the HD or the basic HD model. That is simply not possible. Streaming to 3 separate instances at the same time. So I'm streaming at the moment to 2 instances, but I can actually add a third if I would like to. Full screen output is available to me. External output is available to me. So full screen output, this one right here, only states that if you have a second screen on your computer, you can have a full-on setup, a full video on what your program out is available. The external output is a little bit differently, because that goes via your video card. Sorry, not your video card, via your capture card. Then you've got GT Designer, and that allows you to basically run all kinds of lower thirds, etc. So built-in animation, titles, and scoreboards, etc. That's on all of them. The only difference is that you cannot modify it yourself. You can only modify that if you have the 4K model or the Pro model. So that is a bit of a bummer, that you do need to up the game if you want to also change the layout yourself. That being said, Vmix comes with a plethora of overlays. Playlist is available, which is a bit. It is actually the possibility to change between, for example, cameras or inputs in time, which is I've not used it so much, but it is possible. Professional color correction, yes, you can change the coloring. I actually did it a little bit also for this show. And then video lists is one list of the videos that are on one specific input, and the Vmix call, that is the ability to add a caller to your production. And the basic HD does not have that, but the HD version does have the possibility to add 1 caller. The 4K version has 4 callers, and the the Pro version has 8 callers, which is a lot. The multi-color, this is actually the same as your ISO recorder on the A10. So if you want to have separate recorders of your cameras, you can do that, though you are a little bit limited that it's only available on the 4K model and on the Pro model. And then you've got instant replay, which is cool for sports. And there's also some other parts here as well. I think that PTZ control can be a very important reason to go to the 4K model. And I would state that the Vmix call can also be a very good reason to go to the 4K model. But basically, I would choose between the HD model and the 4K model, even though that I am running the Pro model due to the fact that I've been using it for other purposes. So don't listen to me about that. I hope that that was a little bit helpful for you guys. A lot of information there, I think. So yes, it starts with $60 and get 4K inputs and one overlay. Yep. Hey, Raul, welcome. Really appreciate for being here. Another question: have you ever used Ecom Live? If yes, what do you like best? It's a good question. So the thing is that Ecom is only working on Apple, on Macintosh computers. I have used Ecom, though I don't really like the interface, to be honest. I actually tried it a few times, and I'm just like, yeah, I can work with it, but it's not my thing. Same thing goes for OBS, even though OBS is really catching up quite fast at the moment. So maybe OBS can be a very good a second. Vmix only works on Windows computers. That I didn't say before, but that is definitely can be a problem for people that don't own a Windows computer. Which is the reason behind that is actually quite simple. They have a very small development crew. That's one, and they are using as much as possible NVIDIA drivers or functionality and Windows functionality, and that means that they can do a lot of features. However, they have to be limited towards a combination of Windows and preferably, it's not necessarily that case, but preferably NVIDIA. Why? Because NVIDIA has a better engine to support everything. I am running this on a Windows 10 computer that is about 9 years old, getting into 10 years this year, and I will be decommissioning this computer at the end of this year, but it has been working quite well, although the GPU memory is 100% all the time, and that is the reason why I'm decommissioning it, because next year it's not going to work anymore. I'm pretty sure. MT says it's very interesting. Great. I love Vmix shortcuts. Have you tried out any scripting features or dynamic overlays? Not yet, Jason, but that is one of the reasons why I want to change some stuff. So yes, there will be some changes coming. And that's also the reason why I'm showing it to you today. In general, my opinion is that a physical console like Hdmi Mini Extreme is preferably to software for mixing different video sources on a computer. I 100% agree with you, and that's also the reason why I always recommend using hardware-based switching if it's big. If you have multiple people working on it, if you are getting paid for it, please go with the Hdmi Mini. If you are doing this as a side project, like for example, TechCondo is a little bit of a side project for me. This is something that I want to do by myself. Then I want to have as much as possible the functionality in a small amount of components. Then this is a very good setup for me. Often Vmix, Ecom, OBS overload the memory and CPU, creating problems during professional production. Well, I could have not said it more, and I can show it to you even in just a minute. That is actually literally 100% GPU. CPU is just 7% for me. So I'm using the whole GPU at my disposal, which is why Vmix is running perfectly on an NVIDIA system. But yeah. Keith, no worries. Says it's okay to be late. That's okay. Well, Petra, you should be a teacher instruction on Vmix. Thank you to all of that information. Thanks a lot. There might be a reason. What are the hardware requirements? Good question. Even though I have been running i5 on an i5 processor, not this one, but I can run Vmix on an i5 processor, I would not recommend that at all. I would always go with a i7 processor at the very least. Obviously, i9 is better, so but i7 is the lower end. I will also recommend just go with a good NVIDIA card. Preferably, let me check what is currently. So what I typically do, if it's about requirements, I typically want to go to either the HP Omen laptops. Those are awesome for Vmix, especially because they run Thunderbolts, which allows you to, if you have an enclosure with a decklink card, you can bring in multiple cameras via SDI or HDMI, which is fantastic. So laptop Omen, HP Omen with a Thunderbolt port and an enclosure is a godsend in heaven. But it does need to have an NVIDIA card, very important, and if possible with GeForce. Then for my desktop, this desktop right here, which you cannot see but it's right there, that's a Alienware by Dell, and that one is also 5 years old already. But no, that's not true. 4 years old. So that's Alienware by Dell, and the exact name is the Aurora. And I'm checking if I can show you what I would recommend at the moment. Yes, view all desktops. I can actually show it to you. So I have an older version. Oh, I just went to an English version. I want to have the English version. Thanks. Okay, so this is the Dell website. And what I want to do is that I want to show you the desktops, and I'm going to show all of the desktops. I will stay with the United Kingdom for now because of the English language. It's easier for you guys to understand. Now, this is the new Aurora enclosure, which I really like, by the way. But what is important is that if you look at the Alienware, there are multiple versions of it. So you've got the Alienware Aurora Ryzen edition. I will not recommend to use the Ryzen. So in this case, red, even though it's a really cool color, don't go with red in this case. Ryzen, even though they have very good CPUs and GPUs, CPUs, don't go with them. Just go with Intel. Then I think you have the best possibility. And then you'll see that you actually have the Alienware Aurora R13, and this is also the Ryzen. So let's go with the Alienware Aurora R13. Let's see. So I'm now spending money that I don't have, but let's just see what we have here. I have here an i5 processor. Don't go with i5. So let's remove that one. We don't want that. We want to go with the i7 processor or an i9 processor. And as you can see, there's also a digit behind it. So this is a newer version than that one, it seems, or it has more functionality. So, but both of them are actually quite okay. But here you see a GeForce 1650, but actually the 3060 is way better than this one. So the 3060, I would state, is at the lower end, very, very good. So I would go for this one. Maybe they have more. They have more. But if I would look for something, I would go for a 3080. The 3090 is way overkill in my opinion, but the 3080 with 10 gigabytes of RAM is really good. So it's gonna be between those two for me, if I would recommend one of them. So that's what I would state. One of those two. Very quickly, of course, it's way too fast to really have a good indication, but I would state for laptops, you need to purchase about 2,000 euros for a laptop, and for a desktop, you're around about 3,000 at the minimum. So it's quite a lot of money, unfortunately. MT says, I bought for the purpose a Lenovo P51 6-core i7, 64 gigs of RAM, two 1 terabyte and 6 GB NVIDIA driver. It also has a Thunderbolt 3 port. Yeah, that's also a good brand. Yes, Lenovo, absolutely. All right. See you around. And John, no worries. Welcome to the show. All right, that was a quick shout out. Let's go. Also looking at the time. This is going to be a long show, I think, which is okay. So yeah, we went through the whole setup that we had with the start of the show. What I also do these days is that I also have the thing right here. Let me zoom in again. There you go. Oh, by the way, we talked about 100% just a few minutes ago, right? So look at that GPU load right here. 100% GPU load. Bam! But the CPU load is doing nothing. So in total, we're just 25%. That's all. But anyway, so this is also something. So this is the text that is used in this WebM file. This is looping, so if I click on this, you will see that it's looping throughout the whole show. Then I can right click this, say title editor, and then go up. The heading is welcome. Then the information is coming up. The Vmix is the motor of the TechCondo, and I can just change it here. I say oh, sorry for that. There you go. Oh, something is wrong here, but well, I don't know what happened here, but it says test, and that looks great, and better there. That perfect. All right. So now I need to change the monitor. Oh. Uh-oh. Where's my magnifier? Oh, there it is. Okay, so that has changed now, and that's why where you can just change it, and then once I click on this, you can see that it has been modified. So the other thing that I did was add it to number 4, but I can also use number 3 or number 2 and number 1. And as you can see, the transition is different, which is also something that I typically do. So what I typically do is number 3, I want to have it that it's actually zooming in and zooming out. So let's do that. Let's fix that, because that's already bugging me for a long time. So what I do there to enable that, I go here to overlays, and I zoom in, of course. I go here to overlay right here, and then I go here, right there, and I'm gonna change overlay 3 to become a, what was it again? I think it was a cross zoom. I'm pretty sure it was a cross zoom. So let's do that, say okay, and then let's magnify back. Whoop, there you go. And then once I click now number 3 right here, that's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. Like there. Perfect. So that is how you can just change the transitions of all of your setups. Those setups are actually quite... Hey, there he is. Whoa. There you go. Hello. You guys were thinking, where is he, right? You want to sit over here, guy? Oh, here. Go ahead. Go sit here, over here. Go here. No, let's sit there. There you go. Boom. Nice. So let me show you what that looks like at the moment. There you go. There he is. The mascot of the show is back in town. Now I hope that he's sticking around a little bit for me and not doing all kinds of different things. So once we were ready with the countdown timer, actually the leader starts, right? So let's go ahead and go into the leader. Let's go back to this one and then say boom. And then I need to figure out where the leader is. So that is TechCondo opening and before 2018. So I really need to change something. So if I then click on this cogwheel again and then check what is happening here, then these are the things that are happening. So it states on completion, it will cut to my my camera, right? I had the main camera. It will automatically switch on my microphone. It will automatically start my lower third Petra after 6 seconds, but it will remove it after 12 seconds. And then it will change some other stuff which I removed at the later stage. So these are not yet needed anymore. So I can just remove them from the list, and that's it. So it's already like that. Perfect. So that is the TechCondo opening right there. And after that, let me go. And after that, we typically just have a discussion, etc., etc., etc. And what I also sometimes do is that I have a picture-in-picture. Now, that is also really something that is really easy to do in the setup. And actually, I have a blank one available to me. Again, this one will change very soon. So let's go ahead and go to the screen again and show you what it looks like. So here you go, right there. So this one is the picture, and I'm just going to go a little bit to the left because I have a feeling that the cat is really following the mouse. So this is the picture of the desk cam, and here you can see me right there, and you see a black screen right there. But what happens if I want to add, for example, my main screen here? So basically what I do, yeah, you can feel it already. It's clicking again on the cogwheel. The cogwheel is really important. Then go up, and now you see there's no triggers at all here. Nothing. It's not needed. However, what is needed is the multi-view, or layers as they call it these days. And that's where you can see below. You can see me here, right here. So hello, there you are. That's BD main. But there, and this is tcpip.png. So this is a PNG file right here. So that's all there is. But I want to change it so that I can actually see my main PC. So all that I need to do is click on main PC as the input. Boom, right there. And now, guess what? This is your main PC right there. So that's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So I'm okay with that. And now, if I would go here and click on that, you would see the main PC with a little bit of a strange magnification effect going on, but that is totally fine. Also, what I can do is, of course, because because you guys like scooters so much, to not just have the PC but my this screen right here to see where he is right here. Hey, ooh, you want to sleep? Huh? You want to sleep? Then go ahead and go to sleep, man. Yeah. Anyway. So basically, really, that is basically the major things that are here. Let me go through the setup just in case that I forget something. So I will show you full screen to make sure that I have everything that I wanted to talk to you about. This is the this camera right here in front of me, which is the Sony a6400. It is running via NDI. This camera right here is also running via NDI. So all cameras within the studio are running via NDI. And the reason why I do that is that I want to be able to have all cameras on this production. I want to have, in case this production crashes, I want to have all cameras on that production. And if that one is not working, I want to have it on my laptop. So I'm 100% flexible in my studio. Would I recommend NDI in a on location setup? My answer to that question would be at the moment no, unless you have your own full-on network setup with DHCP, the whole shebang. Then I would recommend it, but it's so much additional work. I'd just keep it simple. HDMI or SDI will do most of the time. Maybe a little bit less flexible. However, if you have this Smart View video hub, then it will maybe be less of a problem. So here everything is NDI based. We talked about the PIP. This Surface is just a different computer, which I can actually, which is really cool, is that with Vmix there comes also a Vmix desktop capture, which is a separate application. And with that application, you can just install it on, for example, your on your laptop, and then you can just show it via NDI, which is fantastic. So again, it's NDI based. The picture-in-picture we already talked about. The TechCondo we already talked about. Live view we did not talk about, but I'm not using live view for my show. However, that might change. So if it's really good weather and in the summer, it might be that I will just take my live view solo and go ahead and walk about to be outside in my dad's garden and not in a very warm studio, because this studio right here can become about 28, 29 degrees Celsius during the summer, and 28, 29 Celsius is quite warm. Let me check that. Okay, Google, what is 28 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
28 degrees Celsius is 82.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
82 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's quite a big chunk there. So live view, I do have that, but not really used. This is the lower third, so I'll show you what it looks like. On the left hand side, you see it. That's just my name, and that takes about 12 seconds to reload. And after 12 seconds, it will automatically then be removed. And maybe you noticed that I did already use that in one of my triggers. The support one I no longer use, because I decided to do some other ways of supporting myself. Music is basically just a list of music that you can see right here. So these are all songs that I have available to me to play, and it will automatically skip to the next one. So that is also cool. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about this one. So yes. So all right, where is it? Not that one. Not that one. This one. Okay, so here you go. So here you go. If you have a guest that you want to bring on board, then you can just have a picture-in-picture. So this is me on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side could be you one day. And we can have a discussion and talk about the subject that is important to everybody. However, the way that you can get here is actually very simple. You can use a Vmix call for that. And Vmix call, you can actually start from the same setup that you have right here. Then you go all the way down to the left hand side, and let's magnify it again. Click on add input right here. And then you see here Vmix call. And here you have a Vmix call, and I'm not going to accept it this time, but you can either host a call or connect to a call. If you say host a call, then you can just copy and paste this Vmix URL, and then somebody else can use that to come into this production, and he or she will have he or she will be able to listen to the audio, see whatever happens on the production setup. You can actually change what that person sees. So I have 4 different outputs that I can connect to. So maybe, for example, output 1 is program out, but output 2 might be the multi-view, which is basically providing you the Vmix setup that you see. And that will be a good way to bring that person on board. And so I'm just going to cancel it now. And that will be very helpful. Where is that? Where? There you go. So that is the way that you can bring people on board. Vmix call. And then let me see. Yeah, so this is the social. So here you have the social that is coming in. So for example, if I see Kirat's question, how do you get HDMI to NDI? Then you see that on the left hand side above, you see the setup, and here you see below the lower third. How do you get HDMI to NDI? Very good question. So let's go ahead and talk about that. This is the way that I do that. I'm using Burdock for that. And this is the Burdock Mini. There are different versions of Burdock. I actually have a second one. Oh. All right. So let's talk about Burdock. So I'm using the same Burdock product that I have right here to bring in this camera that you see right there. The other one that you saw right here that's a different setup, but it's definitely also HDMI. Sorry, it's also NDI. But this one is actually bringing in HDMI right here. So it has HDMI in and out and a network port, and it will automatically be available to you as a system on your network. And this one is this is the oldest version that they had. This is the first one that I bought. This one actually also has SDI connectors, which is also great, but it has also HDMI connectors. And I believe, I've never tried it, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it can do 2 encoders and 2 decoders, two times a channel. So you can have one going via SDI and one via HDMI. But I'm not sure if that is the case. I've never tried that, but I think that that's true. So that is this one right here. So the Burdock Studio, and this is the Burdock Mini. And I have to admit, Burdock is excellent. Really, really, really powerful. And if I am going, okay, so like I think that I said it, but I'm not sure anymore. But my idea is that once that new ATEM 19-inch rack system comes into play and it's not too expensive, I will purchase that for my rack unit, and I will have the ATEM Mini here running with everything, but I will still use the NDI sources just for the sake of what I just said. So the flexibility. There you go. Okay, so that is that. Good question. John says, Are you still using DJI RS2? Which Sony camera do you use with it? I'm thinking of buying one because of the brilliant autofocus. I am using this camera right here. Which I'm now using for something else, so that's the reason why it's not on the gimbal. But this is the camera that I'm using. This is the Sony A6100. It's a fantastic camera. It has fantastic autofocus. If you connect it, if you set it correctly, now it's working correctly. I see that. But this is exactly. This is the same lens that I'm using in front of there, so it's exactly the same. The only thing is that you cannot zoom in and zoom out with this lens, so it's just only focus. But I really would recommend Sony cameras because they're really awesome. So this is the one that I would use on my slider, the automated slider that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. That's the 5100. That's not the best camera, but it's definitely, for the price, extremely good. So good price quality setup. Hope that was helpful. And yes, I still am using the gimbal, though only for I have some ideas with my 19-inch rack that I want to make a very nice B-roll, a nice introduction. Because I want to really walk you through that 19-inch rack setup as soon as it's as soon as I'm going to the next round. We'll talk about that very shortly. Let's do that now. So the 19-inch rack that I'm building at the moment for the video productions, I will be purchasing some SDI cables mid-April. And then I want to walk you through the setup at that time. Reason behind me waiting for it a little bit is that I actually wanted to wait for some other components. But with all the shortages that we have at the moment, things are always a bit longer than I expect. So please be aware of that. So sometimes it takes just a little bit longer than expected. It is what it is. MT says, so you can script the whole show in a queue and run the show automatically. That would be a mess of work. Try and error and to get it right. Yep, you can do everything fully automated, even with timing and etc. etc. But it's really, really that good. That being said, the shortcuts that Vmix supports is out of the box with Elgato. So the Stream Deck, Vmix did create a plugin that you can directly use with your Stream Deck, which is really good. However, I do prefer these days Companion, because Companion allows me to combine the ATEM Mini or the ATEM Extreme or whatever with Vmix, but also with my X32 audio rack, which we will be definitely talking about in a future video. Are you guys interested in the audio setup? Let me know. But also, and this is really a kicker for me, because this is that it not only works with the X32, which is the mixer, it also will work with my headsets by Shure. So my headsets by Shure are also programmable via Companion. I am happy. I'm so happy. That was perfect. I love it. So that is it. MJ, well, welcome by the way, MJ. How to set up a background music which to be in a how to set up a background music which be played in playlists of Vmix. Yeah, that's quite easy to do, MJ. Let me show you. So there you go. So this is the production, and let me just bring in some music for you guys. Let me see if it's running. Let's run some music. So this seems to be the music. Yep, there you go. So let's go to this. Oh, and just bring in some music right here. So this is this right here is the music. And there you go. So now you have music. Now I don't have my headset in, so I don't know how much music it is at the moment, but I could very easily check that out. So you can just change it like that. So that's as easy as it gets, and will remain switched on the whole time. So I don't have to look at it. It's just running through it, and in the list it will automatically say auto next right here, and it will loop the list even. So it will go automatically to the next one, and it will go back to the top and go through it all the time right there. My cat is looking at my my video. It's so funny. Anyway, yeah, he's still here, by the way. There you go. There he is. Yeah? There you go. Cool. No. MT asks how good is the quality of Vmix call input? Is there any latency, and how much? Good question. So looking at Vmix call, let's talk about Vmix call. Vmix call does have latency, so it's about half a second or so. So it is noticeable in a conversation. It is noticeable. However, if you just take a little bit longer to react, it's quite doable. So that is the latency. Yes, there is latency. The quality can be surprisingly well, and the way that you can set up the that quality is really by going again to add inputs, video call. Oh, could not connect to the video. Oh, there you go. Now it's working again. Here, let me show you. Here, return feed to guest. Right, so this is the return feed to guest. Here you can set the quality of what the guest gets. So for example, I want to have output 1, but I want to have a very low bandwidth. This can be very interesting if that person is running on a cell phone and wants to be brought into the mix. You can run Vmix call via a phone because it's a internet-based setup, a web-based setup. And you can go all the way to 1080. Actually, typically, I would set it to 720 at 2000 kilobits per second. So this is returning to the guest. That's the quality returning to the guest. The guest can also set what we typically, the guest is actually the one that is showing you the amount of data that you have. So if that person has a good amount of data, the quality will also be good. I think it's surprisingly good for video. And what we actually do is that it's not only for, and I almost forgot that, it's not only for having a person brought into your production. You can actually connect two vmixes to each other. So you can have two vmixes on every side, which can be even very powerful. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what we do with our church service, is that we have a Vmix to Vmix connection from me to the TV studio, who also has a Vmix set up, and I will then be the man in the middle to get the live view signal into my studio, from my studio to the Vmix of the local television station, which is quite awesome. Funny says the cat is learning all. You should make a segment in the show called the Cat Tech Capsule. Yes, well, you know, the thing is that the thing with my cat, this is then Scooter. Scooter is just 14 or 15 weeks, I think. 15 weeks old. Yeah, he's 15 weeks old now, and he is actually changing quite dramatically. Yeah, last week he was climbing here, but if you look at my hands, and I'm going to show it to you. So my hand was 100%, you know, all kind of red marks. Still there, to be honest, but it's way less already. So he is learning. He's learning where the boundaries are, but sometimes he's going absolutely berserk, and he's doing a lot of different things. I'm not gonna even say what he did this morning. So so for mind you, I have a Lego hobby. So I love building Lego sets. One of my biggest Lego set is the Millennium Falcon by Star Wars, right? The from Han Solo. It's a huge Millennium Falcon. It's like 1 by 50. It's huge, but it's all very. There's a lot of greebling on it, and it's very loosely created. So I am so worried that this cat right here beside me is gonna jump on it, because I am planning to build like a plastic display case for it. I already ordered it, but it already came in, but it was broke during transport, so I had to bring another one. Oh, it's a lot of mess, but he's really cool. I like him. John says, but you need the pro version of Vmix to make Vmix call worthwhile. It depends on how you look at it. You can already do quite nicely with 4 because what was it again? Let's go back to that list. I think it's okay. So if you go back to this one, Vmix call. Let me remove the magnifier glass again. With the 4K version, you have already. Sorry, that's the wrong one. You already have 4 callers, which is very, very well. So that is the 4K version. The HD version has 1 caller, but 4 callers is really, really, really huge already. And then 8 callers is even better, but 4 callers, I have to admit that in all the time that I've been using Vmix, I only had once that I had 5 callers available to me. Only once, 5 callers. Never 8. So it's okay, I think. MT says, because I asked, you gave me an idea to connect our second studio in Cologne with our production in Hanover. Yeah, there you go. You can do that. It's quite easy. If you need my help, MT, just let me know. I'll help you. That's okay. My German is not that great. I can understand it perfectly. I can, with hands and feet, I can tell you things in German, but yeah, so we can definitely hook up, and I can help you there. Good. I think that did I forget something? I'm walking through the other topics. Maybe one more thing. Yeah, actually there are 2 things that are really, really cool. Do we still have time for that? We can do that. No, we're gonna do that later. Should I continue, guys? Let me know. There are two more things. I can show you how to bring in a PowerPoint presentation into the mix. And I can talk to you about using data sources as well within Vmix. Let me know if you want to continue with that. Otherwise, we can definitely do that at a later stage, because I'm definitely gonna use that in the future as well. Let me know. Hey Kevin, what's going on? How are you? Great of you to be here. Just the last question is jumping in and just to see if you guys want me to continue. Otherwise, yep, MT, just that's totally fine. Yep, let's connect. Sure. PowerPoint, Garrett says. Okay, Let's do only the PowerPoint parts, and let's do the data source sometime soon. Good. It's really straightforward, but of course, you might recall me using these. Let me flip around. Where is it? For your sake, I removed a lot of clutter. So, all right, here it is. So you might recall me having. Let me show my screen again. There you go. Boom. You may recall me using these kind of slides, right? Well, these slides right here are actually coming from a PowerPoint presentation, and you can just use that. So you can actually go to slide. You can here see that there are 2 slides available in this one. How do you do that? Well, let's just remove this one because I'm not going to use it anymore. I'm going to go here to zoom in again, add inputs. And here you see PowerPoint. So there's literally a PowerPoint presentation right here. And I'm going to click on the ATAM one and click OK. Loading PowerPoint slides. So now it's literally loading it and making it available to me. And here you are right there. So these are the slides. And if I then click on slideshow settings, these are the same too, but that's okay. You can see here that there's a transition. If this transition is set to 2 seconds, it will change every 2 seconds to the other one, and we'll go back to the other one. What I typically do is that I just remove it. Well, I will just change this to 0 right there. I like the fade effect, and that's it. So now the only thing that I do is that, and then I need to go back to a non-magnifying setup right there. I typically just put this one on the other screen, and that's, you can see that on the picture right there here. So, and then I just change it right there. So if I go here, and I can just change it like so. It's straight on. It's really, really, really easy to do. So that was very quickly the PowerPoint presentation, and it's literally just a PowerPoint presentation. The only thing that does not work is transitions like morphing, etc. So it's just a picture. So that's something that might be a bit of a bummer, but hey, it cannot be perfect, right? Yeah, bringing in PowerPoint sounds great. Yeah, well, there you go. It just shows you it's quite easy. Wait. Vmix can play out PowerPoint on its own. That is great. But can presenter click through the presentation? Yes, you can make that happen as well. That I cannot show you, but that is possible. Yeah. That is possible. I cannot show it to you. Unfortunately, I do not have the product to do that. Phil says, sorry, that was encoder, not NDI device on AliExpress. That's okay. Sportchat says, thank you, Petra, for all the information. I'm from Arizona, Alberto, and Socorro, my mother. Welcome, welcome. Anyway, thank you so much for being here live and direct. Next week, we'll hopefully we can continue the 19-inch rack setup. I had to postpone it a little bit due to other priorities. So cute. Need to show it to you. It's my. Sorry, you cannot see it. There you go. There he is. I needed to quickly change something there. So that's the way That it should be, right? Very, very easy, relaxed. All right, that's all I had in store for you today. Thanks so much for being here. See you next week, same time, same channel. And oh, by the way, I will be in Glasgow coming week, so hopefully I will remain healthy. You never know these days. But yeah, so I will be there for 3 days coming week. I'm really looking forward to going to Glasgow. So maybe if you're from those parts, let me know. And I'll see you next week, same time, same channel. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.